Okay, it's a lovely afternoon. Myles is here, of course, so we can get something done. And we got one cylinder head for our Buick ready. I've got the seats all, we just lapped all the valves in and everything, so this should be the final rinse. A lot of hours in cleaning already, actually. Everybody loves brake clean.
It's my favorite.
Try and take it away, I'm sure. After everything is ready.
Yeah.
Fresh. Very rewarding though, seeing all that come back to life.
It is. Oh, I'm gonna do some important polishing.
Oh yeah. You know what we'll have to do when we're done? We'll have to have 59 Buick drag race. Yeah, just to see. Just to see
if I got anything
just
extra.
to see if you literally to see if you got anything. Because I'm gonna have, well, it'll be a smaller engine too.
Yes, so that's gonna hurt.
So it's kind of cheating.
It's kind of cheating.
But no, I'm curious though. That looks terrific.
I'd like to see if we could do a burnout, but I just don't think they will.
I don't think this is a burnout kind of car.
No.
I think that can get that cleaner.
Clean head, yeah.
Okay, and we'll need a clean rag and a clean rag for you.
Yeah. Cute.
Okay, one for me, one for you. Thanks to Dean's Clean Rag Supply. Do we need a little more action? Let's do that.
Tilt that
Down,
up for me.
up.
Yep. Up.
You only got one in
Beautiful.
already. Yeah, this will work great.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Beautiful.
Yep.
Yep, very nice. Yep.
Okay, that's going well. There you go.
Okay. I put that double on the right end. Double on the right end.
These dished valves make it actually easy to keep everything square. Oh, that seems a bit.
Yep, try again. Hitting something. Okay, try again. There we go. That's nice. Yep. Beautiful. Okay, in, looks good. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Right on.
I think we can be very happy with that. Looks like a properly rebuilt cylinder head.
Yeah.
Well, that looks a lot better than it did, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
Right on. Dean's gonna be mad you fucked up all of his bubble wrap. What do you,
Hey. Hey.
She loves the bubbles though, eh? She doesn't ever eat any of it.
Pop in her mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think she thinks it's funny. She never eats any, just so anybody
that's
knows.
smart,
Like
yeah.
she just rips it up. She just loves it, eh? Hey, cut it out. No, I see that, yeah. Okay, quit screwing around, please. You done? Thanks for the help, man.
You bet.
Awesome.
Yeah, one head down, one to go. And I learned something about science.
Science?
Magnetizing a screwdriver.
Oh, man, maybe you're right. We should have filmed that.
We should have. Get Dean to do it next time.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, buddy. Thanks again. Welcome to the show, and we're coming to you live today, not live, from Dean's fabulous fishing cabin in Vermont.
Yeah,
where he's currently awaiting the delivery of a pretty snazzy speedboat, I hear.
Actually, yeah, that's that's sweet, man. Oh, and I have you to thank for this, guys. You know, like this is this is really. I mean, you made it happen that I could live this life of luxury. So.
Kind of an exciting day for me here. I'm going to paint the front of my Citroen SM here. This is the front fascia that I put together out of a wrecked one I had, and I ended up making a lot of it from scratch. But anyway, it's finally ready for paint. I just thought I would sneak this through. Well, I have a short break in between rover parts. I wanted to get this done, you know, for quite a while, and it's actually there's a fair number of hours in this, so it's kind of exciting to get it to this point anyway. So this is where all the headlights go, obviously, and then this little indentation here allows the inside ones to swivel, and yeah, this European front end adds a certain amount of value to the car. Anyway, I'm going to get started. Same process as usual. One coat of epoxy sealer, let that flash for probably almost an hour, and then a couple of coats of silver base. The thing with the SMs is regardless of the color you ordered on the car, all the front ends were painted silver. So while I haven't completely decided on a color, I'm leaning towards one. It's nice that I can get this front end. I really want to get all this assembled. There's like 5,000 pieces that go on here, and I want to put this together, put it on the car, bolt it down, and put a bag over it and forget about it. So that will allow me to get onto the rest of the car. I kind of said when I started this car that I was not going to tear into the rest of the car until the front end was done, because this was probably half the total hours in the bodywork, or just putting this thing together at the front end here. I've got the headlights for it, bit of an adventure there, of course, and I've got everything I need to put this together except a coat of paint. So I'm going to do that right now, starting with the gray epoxy.
Okay, hoping to get this in two. First one's going to be wet, just to get some material on. Second one will be dusty dry to even out the metallics.
and keep it out of the way. I hope. There. Holy cow, is this ever tight. That's approximately where it says it goes. So, go. Is that ever tight? Okay, well, that's a start. Very small piece of a very big puzzle, but a tiny bit closer. Great. Well, there's only about 64,000 parts go on this front end. I don't know whether to try to assemble it in place. I don't think that you can. I think it'll be coming back out of here. Well, I know it will. It'll be coming out of here several times yet. But that for now at least gets it out of the way and safe. So yeah, some tiny amount of progress on the SM. We are going to be getting at this car obviously as soon as Laura's car is out of the way. You can see bits of Laura's car everywhere. I actually talked to Colin last night and they're making good headway on the Rover body shell with the sound deadener and getting the engine ready. So with any luck, the car will be actually ready to come back here by the time I'm finished painting the deck lid and hood and the remainder of the small parts. So I'm gonna just keep moving knowing that that is all working as we hoped. And being able to sneak this little bit in for me is just a bit of fun for me. And you know how it is. You want to kind of give yourself a little encouragement now and then, and so fun to throw this little bit on here. Pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not perfect, but it's certainly for a driver car every bit that I could wish for. And for something that was made out of garbage and scrap metal, I'm very happy with that.
What a weirdo.
Aren't you going to finish the show, Frangers?
Well, you can't just walk off and...
Yeah, Frangers. There's a pretty good pry bar.
Kind of clunky.
It's a bit clunky.
Yeah, get it right there. That's exactly what I was trying to.
Oh,
Holy shit. Huh?
it's moving, but
I'm going to bust it.
no, if I break it, then
Yeah,
that was
well,
a
then
waste
you're
of time.
fucked. Yeah. You say you may have to get maybe a screwdriver or a pry bar and a rubber hammer. There you go. Oh, she's rusty, but it, eh?
Yeah, but
It's still
that's
good.
okay.
Eh? It's better than the other one. The other one don't turn
No,
at
that one
all.
doesn't turn at all. No,
Yeah.
this is all good.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Leave the gasket.
Gasket's the best part. I might have to reuse that. Can you get that off of there?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, fuck.
That guy wasn't wasting any time. You know, he trimmed the inside nice. He just, it's literally just
didn't
torn.
bother with the
He
outside.
just literally
Like,
ripped
fuck
it off.
You think you would fucking set it on the table and at least.
Oh, I think he just kind of went like this and tore it off.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well that's good.
Well, that's
that's
good.
going to save a bunch of time.
Well, yeah.
What else can we use with this baby? You know, if I could get that water neck off,
Which?
I broke the bolt off inside the other
Oh,
one.
fuck. We'll do it then. Hey,
It might
now's
be.
the day to do it.
Saves trying to get that bolt out of the broken one.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, there's a timing marker on
I was
here.
just gonna say,
I think
anything
that's
a harmonic
missing.
balancer or
That,
timing?
that timing marker's missing.
Is it? On the other one?
Yeah,
Oh, well, fuck you.
You might as well have that, because how would you know where the timing is? Yeah, that's a good find. I'm happy about that. There.
There you are. Yeah.
Water neck solved. Water pump solved.
Grab all this shit.
There we go. Another successful parts car scrounge.
Put the hood down so things don't get wet.
One day we'll publish the blooper reel, but probably not while we still want to have a YouTube channel.
Do it after I die.
Okay, back at the 1959 Buick LeSabre today. The engine's coming along reasonably well inside. Actually, very happy with how that's going. And I thought, while I'm waiting for a couple of things, maybe we get a little further ahead on the body work. I don't have a ton of extra room in any of the garages right now, but there's so much can be done ahead of time. I thought I would get started on that. Things like fixing the rear door and what we're about to do, which is I'm going to make a new dogleg, which is the piece between the back door and the rear wheel opening. It's a little rotten there. This car is not too bad overall. Floors and trunk floor are good, and most of the body is actually pretty good. But of course, it is very old, and a certain amount of rot has set in as it does. You can see that's obviously quite shot. We're gonna go. I don't know, where are we gonna go? Looks like that's probably a hole. So we'll go up to there, I guess, right? The way I generally do it is just cover a large area around the thing in tape. So the most important part of this exercise is getting the shape of this flare right, and trying to make this out of a single piece, so that'll be the challenge. A lot of stretching going to be involved, I think. There you can see that there's a pretty good flare on that. So that'll be the challenge. So of course it curves that way, and it curves this way, and it rolls in as it goes down. So about as complex a piece as you're likely to encounter on a wheel arch repair like this. Luckily though, the rest of it is cherry. There's some more work at the back, and that will be upcoming as well. The thing with this piece is I will probably make 2 of these, and very likely the other side will need the same repair. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that's roughly what we're trying to make here. Just trimmed off some of the extra. So we can see it seems to have, and again, we can fine tune this. This is just to get us very roughly started, and when we try to get this, the idea is to try to get this to lay flat, and anywhere it wrinkles up is where you're going to have to stretch it, and anywhere that you have to cut it to get it to lay flat, you're going to have to shrink it. So I think that we'll end up, if we do one slice right here, most of the work is going to be stretching this flare into it, and so and that's a lot of stretching. You can see that that flare is really pronounced, and when I try and push that flat, we have a huge wrinkle here, and it gets less so as we go that way. So that's it. I'm going to start by cutting a rough shape like this out, and we're just going to be beating it in here to try and stretch it out. That'll get us started, and we'll see how it goes after that. Again, I do not claim to be an expert at any of this. I learned how to do this just out of, just out of having to. We just have to. Okay, let's trace that out and start beating on it. Okay, very roughly cut that out. I'm going to leave this little bit extra here, as I think it might help me maintain the overall radius on the car. If we get a little, if this gets too small, I'm afraid that it would be beyond my pay grade to try and keep that looking decent. So we're gonna just cut something like that out and just really wail on it, and we'll see how it goes. And if you're watching this, it means I probably got it close enough. Well, that's all I've got to start with. Just drew the pattern on the back side because I'm going to be hammering along that. That's the high point of the flare. And of course, the idea here is we just trying to beat the shape into it the very roughest. We're just extremely rough at first, and then as we get closer and closer, we can start to try and fine-tune the the actual details of it. But for now, it's just about just trying to stretch the shit out of it, especially in here. Anyway, we'll get the old ball peen hammer and the old log, and we'll just go at it that way. The most we need to do is right in here. So now, really only concerned right now with getting here. This is all, we can use this to help pull it into shape. You can see that's why I left all this here. Gives me a little more to work with. I'm gonna just stretch it a little more right in here, the main spot here. You can see it's giving us our flare, and it's also giving us a lot of curvature this way, which is more than we need. So we're going to see what happens. You see it's puckering all this, so I think we may take a second and fold some of this down. We also have the curve where it rolls under, and that's down here somewhere. And that's where we're likely going to end up cutting it as we planned, so that's okay. I may even do that sooner than later, but whatever. Okay, got a bit of a lump going there. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that reverse in it here. So it's wanting to do this, so we can stretch this area in here. You can see I did a little bit already. Don't like to use the kick stretcher too much, but for roughing stuff out, I'll usually give it a little bit. And now we're starting to see the flare here. So I want to go stretch that a little bit. I want to pull this edge back parallel this way, and then we'll start trying to define the shape of that a little better. And as we define it, it'll probably tell us where it needs more stretching. That's all. Just did a little stretch on the thingy there. I'm looking along here. That's laying pretty close to flat. So looks like maybe we need a little more stretching in there. I'm gonna just define this edge a little better, or this shape just a tiny bit, just so we know sooner than later if we got to do more. Okay, so I'm just trying to take some of the bulk and pile it up near the edge where we want it. And once we get that done, we'll start putting it up against the car and keep fine-tuning it. But you get the idea, which was stretch a bunch of metal along there and pile it up and then start shaping it. Okay. Once I put it up against the car, I realized I'd made that too shallow, so I sharpened that corner up, and you know, we're getting warmer now. A lot, as I'm going, I've been trimming this excess off in here. I really only need about 3/4 of an inch when this is finished. All this extra just makes it so much harder to keep it straight. We're trying to keep it straight this way, and its tendency, of course, is to curl this way. As you fold this edge under, of course that is shorter than that when it's laid flat. So as you fold this in, it naturally wants to curl that way. So I've been stretching that back out. And again, not ideal. If we were really getting fussy, we wouldn't do it on the kick stretcher like that. But anyhow, we're not getting fussy. What I'm gonna do now is I gotta go outside and make a cardboard template of this profile. I probably should have done that in the first place, but as I'm getting closer, I realize that if we're going to get close enough, we might as well get it a little closer yet. So I'll go make that profile, and then we're going to try to beat that in so that it's consistent. Just nice to have you know, an objective go no-go gauge. You can see here, that's the line for the back door, so we're not too worried about that. And I'm not too worried about the bottom there. We'll finish that up and the rest of it's decent. Really just want to get this flare pretty close. The rest of it's easy. Our little profile thing here. We're pretty close, but still a bit of a gap at the very top there. And a little too much in, oops, a little fat in here. So we're going to take some of this metal and drive it out that way. We want to get that lip a little more pronounced. So I'm just going to take this down there. A little more log time. It's really just the outer line that has to move. Concentrate on that. Tighten this up in here. So that area looking pretty good. And you can see a slight change in the shape there. So more above it, more below it.
Tin Bash and Tuesdays, here we go.
Tin Bash and Tuesdays. Flip it over, stretch it out a bit more.
Pretty nice.
Not terrible, pretty good there.
Beautiful.
So we're kind of good right there, so that's what we want. So we just want a little more of that, a little more up here. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Actually came out easier than I thought. I thought this would take me all day. At least it's not like the Fury where you have to do the whole car. Here we got this piece. There's like all of this
Yeah.
is good on this car, which is huge.
On yours or mine or both?
On mine. I think yours is even better. I think your car is less rusty than this hardtop. So obviously it's good to about there. Go back and just beat it on this thing. It's nice to hit it into something soft. The log in this case is serving more as a bean bag than anything else. It's just something soft that allows the feel.
Which allows the metal to move more?
Yeah. Then go back and try making it look like something. But you can see, as you do that, introduce all kinds of other problems. You can see that's curving the wrong way. Right? So you have to go back and make all that.
You worry about that at the end?
Well, no, I'm kind of trying to do it all as we go, rather than get this all nice and then realize that you can't use it because you've done something else so terribly wrong. Getting
Yeah,
there.
let me get in here. Yeah, okay.
So, but the car is more shaped like that than this, right? So we have to make sure that we can bring this all back around. Okay, and then we're going to take this, flatten that out. So it's not too terrible. And back at this. Now you see the angle's right. Because that goes straight up now.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
Yeah, so we just gotta tighten this up. See, it's a little... This hole from here to here,
Yeah.
that flare is just a little too big. So put it on here. That's serving as the radius there.
I see.
It's pretty close, as a matter of fact. Well,
Kind of test
there
it.
you can see
The radius.
it's close enough, right? And again, close enough for what we're doing. We are not making fancy cars. Some out of the flare and put it back on the flat part until we're getting there now, right? But still a bit here, so more of the same. Myles is watching, he's got to make his too.
You're damn right. I better be learning.
Now you can see that this is staying straight. And the flare looks pretty good.
It does.
And so the flare is a little, this looks good there. I think the flare is a little bit too fat. Oh no, it's pretty good. It might be, oh, it's too skinny down here.
Yeah, a little low.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm not using the last little bit. It's almost impossible to get it. So let's, yeah, we gotta put a bunch more in there. Just from here to here, right? You can see as rude as you want. Because we're more worried about getting it. So just in here.
Coming. Yeah.
Coming, yeah. Okay, now it's too wide.
Sure.
So we go back over there and we put the dolly there and we push all this extra metal up top. I'm going to hit the side here and watch it pile up on that line there.
Okay.
There, see? So it's not too wide anymore, but
Yeah.
it got taller.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now you can go in and fiddle around with it, but we should keep checking. Oh yeah, look at, see? Yeah, and then it all disappears right there. It goes to flat.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that.
That moved very quickly.
So the idea of that was to create the extra length and then put it somewhere else. So, like that's kind of where it sits.
Yeah.
Just from pounding it out. So what we're gonna do is as we get close, we'll trim this down to the original, to the correct width.
Right.
Because that's a lot. And then we will stretch or shrink this edge to pull the profile in. Because this might be curved in too much.
Sure.
But it might be bang on too, so I'm not too worried about that right now. This is getting cut off anyway. I'm just doing this so that it's not fighting us.
Yep.
And
At what point do
Bondo.
you stick it on the car?
Oh, I've been running in and out. Yeah. Yeah, no matter how good you think your pattern is, you're gonna be running in and out. Let's put our tape pattern on it, see how it's doing. Something like that. Anyway, I guess the thing is we're at the point now where the tape pattern, it got us started. See, when you lay that flat, the tape pattern says stretch the shit out of it right there. Anywhere it wrinkles, you gotta stretch it. So, you know, all this stretched, and that's what I did. I just put it on the log and just beat that shape into it with a ball peen hammer, and then you start shaping it, and then you're like, oh, it's not enough, more beating. So this is where you stretch it, and then you go over there and you kind of take whatever mess you made and pound it into the shape, and you're like, okay, well, no, not enough or too much or whatever, and then back at it. So I'm going to do this a little more,
Yep.
and then we'll take it and throw it at the car and see. I'm going to give it a little stretching in here, just because it wants to change direction. Okay, well, let's go throw it at the car. Because if we get too cute and get it bang on and then it's the wrong shape, it's much harder to, like, while it's still pretty soft like this, it's easy to adjust it. But we're pretty close most of the way along. This looks like right there, we could take some of this out of it. Helps to look at it inside out too. Sometimes you see things that are like how raunchy all this is, right? Well,
Looks like something.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be okay, because again, we're going to go here and here and here. All we really need is this and a little bit of the flare.
It's going to be hard to see,
This
eh?
is the last time we're working on this piece today. Pretty close. We need a little.
Actually,
So we need to bring it in here.
Yeah, on the bend.
Just gonna.
Sure.
And you can see, look at it, it curves the wrong way right there. So we actually have to shrink
I
that.
see, yeah.
And they've overstretched that, so
Hold
that's
that
fine.
in a little.
I'm just gonna get my pen. Yeah, I'm trying to force it over that big lump of rust there. You know what? I'm not gonna put a bend in it, because I think once that's gone,
It might sit in a little tighter.
and you can see it was all very roughly goobered in with lead anyway. And then the flare goes away right where it turns under, which I think if we were to do that, then that's actually a pretty good guess where I have it there.
Yeah, right.
Let me see if I can mark where because I'm going to put one slot in it here and fold it.
Light. Does this help?
That's helping, yeah. Yeah, I can pinch the edge all the way along. Pretty good. So
Nice. Did you read in the comments there that some people don't work on their cars in the cold?
yeah,
It's crazy.
weird. If you don't work on your cars in the cold around here, they don't get done.
That is when we do most of our work. The rest of the time we hope to drive them.
Is there a mark there somewhere?
Yes, on the
Okay,
inside.
that's good enough. Yeah. It's actually not too bad. I think this could change a bit when it goes on, but at least that allows me, we make one cut there, we fold that up, and then the whole thing should go into place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a piece of cardboard and we're gonna mark this profile because I think it's a little too round. I think it's got we just need to stretch it in here
Yeah.
and kind of relax that a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's fine because I haven't done any adjustment there yet at all. Anytime I'm like, what are you doing? I just look at the front and I go, yes, you're doing the right thing.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
Bringing that thing to life.
Continuing on our Buick dogleg repair here. Getting a little warmer. Now I'm going to start by trimming away all the extra here. It's becoming a hindrance in getting the shape right. And what's happening is, here's a profile taken from the side of the car. That point there represents where the rocker panel, or where it folds under to the rocker. So that will go right about there. And you can see just too much curl in it this way. And I'm thinking that stretching this edge here will help that. But first, it's just all this extra material is just making it very difficult to do that. So I'm going to trim this back to just over 3/4 of an inch, which will be the finished size. So giving me an approximate 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to leave it always a little generous. It's way easier to take a little more off later, but at this point, all this extra material is making it very difficult. So I'm going to go somewhere there, like that. And get a pen. Okay, I'm going to cut that off and then we'll get started trying to take some of that out of it. Shouldn't take too much. We can almost do it there, but certainly right here, just too much shape in it. So let's get started by trimming it. There we go, trimmed that back. And that made it easy to put that edge in the stretcher. It was mostly right here. And there, fits much better now. So, I'm gonna go throw it at the car one more time. And not sure how much further we'll take it because there's always some fine tuning to do once it's on the car. I think I'd like to finish this bottom edge, roll that under. So, time to go make a better mark where that goes. And then we'll, maybe we'll spend some time. Again, we're not trying to make $1 million car here. Okay, got that trimmed, folded it under there. Not going to finish any of this until it's on the car. Always the risk of cutting away too much, so I'm not going to worry about that. That's the only weld the panel's going to need to maintain its shape. So rather than making that out of a bunch of different pieces, it's not great, but it didn't take very long either. You can see it sits nice and straight against the car. Matches our profile that way. And that should repair the dogleg on the old Buick. I don't think these pieces are available, so the more of this kind of stuff that we can make, the faster and better this job is going to go. I'm not going to trim out this for the door. Again, that's easy to do when it's actually time to put it on the car. Right now, I'm going to blow some primer on this and throw it in the back seat. And then when the car comes in to do the actual job, this will be already ready. All right, there we go. Let's I'm gonna go chuck it against the car just to show you guys that I didn't just make that up. It actually fits the car. There's not much room between the cars here, but let's see if I can get a picture. Yeah, there we go. Can't really fit it on there very well because of all the rust and whatever. Pretty happy with that for something that didn't take too long, and certainly plenty good enough for the kind of cars that we make around here. As you can see, a lot of this car is really quite good. That is just old bodywork fell off of that door, so that's not really a rust issue. There's pieces on the front fenders. I may use the front fender off the parts car. Maybe the next piece we'll make will be this whole bottom of this quarter up to about there. So actually a much easier piece than it may first look like. And the inner is not a big deal either, I don't think. And the rear pan, surprisingly good. Muffler, probably not good enough to use. So again, that, you know, it's a bit rusty, but we consider most of these cars were worse than this when they were 5 years old. This doesn't really bother me. That's a pretty easy repair, certainly easier than certain Plymouth cars we may have just finished. Anyway, just showing that this type of thing can be made with very, very limited tool selection, and I don't know, that didn't take that much time. I mean, it took some time, probably took 4 hours, but it didn't take 20. And if you had to go downtown and buy one and drive back, it would take 2, and they're not available. So I'm gonna just chuck it in the car, and that'll be ready to go when we get to this particular job. Hey guys, thanks so much as always for watching the video, and just like always, we had a terrific time putting it together this week. Thanks also as always for leaving a comment or hitting the old like button and stuff like that. It really does help the videos get seen, and we have to do what we can. In addition to the Renault and the Buick and the SM and the Rover, we'll be back of course working on Jim's Continental Mark II, and Agent 8771, my brother Andy's putting the final touches on a new engine for his 1969 Fairlane that he's had since high school, and so he's finishing that up, and we're running it in on Dan's engine stand. Of course, I just got back from Dan's, and he is making pretty good progress on the 53 Olds 98 Holiday hardtop, which is a personal favorite of mine, and I'm more than a little envious of that fine General Motors machine. And I'm having a blast on the 59 Buick. It is a car I've wanted ever since I was a little kid, so to get a chance to put one together is really really making my day here. I want to take this opportunity as always to say a very special thank you to the patrons of the show. You know, you guys make the show possible. I simply could not do it without you. The ad revenue from doing these YouTube videos is negligible, especially, you know, when you have to rate them adults only and stuff because of the profanity and all the evil stuff that goes on here. I really tried not to make the show about trying to make money and whatnot. If you only watch the show now and then and whatever, I mean, great, I don't care, skip the commercials, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you look forward to it every week and you wait for it to come on, and you can possibly consider putting a little towards keeping it going, every bit is very much appreciated. It more or less strictly relies on the donations and kindness of the people who contribute, and so thank you guys so much. Please have a terrific week, and we'll see everybody very soon. Cheers. A regular contributor.
Same old shit.